Can you find a real estate platform that aligns everyone in the entire company financially by making us real estate agents owners, so when the average agent wins, everyone wins? That's the secret to success. And when you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurial people who absolutely love what they do, they love serving people, they love God and life, and you put yourself in an environment of high energy, high producing, positive people every day, you can't help but succeed in business and life. We are changing the real estate industry and changing real estate agents' lives. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast. Super excited to introduce one of my business partners, Matthew CAMPOLI from Toronto, Canada today. How you doing, Matthew?
Good. Thanks, Andrew, for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of share your story. I'll give our listeners a little quick bio that I know one of your biggest things, you've been ranked top 35 under 35 in Canada. And recognized as the top 2% of real estate agents in the country. So that's a really big deal. I know you have a huge online presence, and you've been able to leverage your brand to get over 140,000 plus eyes on your listings weekly organically. So that's really helped you achieve some great results with your clients, selling a ton of homes. I know you bring a new level of marketing to the real estate game, which has helped you rank top 20 for real estate agents on social media. And that's why you've been so successful. So excited to kind of hear your story. And I know you're from Toronto, Canada. And it's probably a little cool up there today, but you decided to take about a month off, half vacation, half working with your partners down in Mexico. So you're sitting in Mexico today, correct?
I am.
Yeah, that's the ultimate location freedom, right? Work anywhere in the world and still sell houses.
Exactly. That's the goal. So we're testing out the waters, and it's working great so far.
That's awesome. So yeah, just let's start with just kind of telling us a little bit about your background, your real estate background, personal, whatever you want to share, and kind of paint a picture for our listeners.
Yeah. So some background on me, real estate was never the plan. Went to university to study history, big history fanatic, and I was just passionate about it. So I figured, what can I do with it? And really the only thing that made sense was to become a teacher.
Okay.
And then during this same journey, so post high school, so while I was in university, I accidentally started to cut hair, started to do the barbering thing because my friends knew my mom had the equipment, and they would always call me because they didn't want to go pay a barber. And they would just say, "Hey, Matt, can you cut our hair? You have the equipment. We feel like you know what you're doing." I was like, okay. So that turned into a bit of a thing. And then I started to enjoy it. And then I started to actually be good at it. And more people started to approach me saying, "Hey, I saw this guy's hair. Can you cut my hair?" So I said, okay, maybe I should start charging for this.
Yeah.
So
right.
while in school, I had a completely different mindset. I didn't even understand entrepreneurship. This little barber accident woke up the entrepreneur in me because I was able to run my own business, and people were coming to me for me, and this business was like blowing up, and I had like over 200 guys coming to me.
Wow.
And yeah, so as my mindset started to open up and realize, oh, there's an opportunity here, maybe like I have a network, never really had this before. I started to really research what teachers make, and personally was not satisfied with the max that they can make after a 10-year period. And at this same time in my life, my mom, who was a single mom raising me, was always renting with me growing up. And she finally purchased her first house. And then she's like, "Come to the showing." And I was like, okay, I'll come. I was kind of lazy, but I went. Then I saw the real estate agent pull up in his Mustang and do his thing. And then I had like an epiphany moment where I said, okay, this is an interesting job. I can leverage this barber network, because I knew I didn't want to barber forever.
Right.
I was trying to figure out how can I leverage this network I had. And then this kind of was a eureka moment for me. Then I started to research the real estate industry and what agents can make. And I saw that there was a no ceiling. So I liked it. And then as soon as I graduated university, I just went straight into my real estate license, and then just, dove in the deep end. That was it.
The rest is history. Well, that's awesome. That's an awesome story. So you went from thinking about being a teacher to a barber, entrepreneur to a real estate agent, and now the sky's the limit, isn't it?
It's a limit.
So how long have you been selling real estate now?
This is my 7th year now.
7th year, and you've been a solo agent pretty much most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I know you said you started off at a big company, well-known company, Royal LePage in Canada. That's a good company, I've heard, right?
Yep.
So you were there for quite some time and made one little change and came back. Why did you think? What had you leave to go to Remax for a minute and then come back?
I just it just felt right in that moment to switch.
Okay.
And then the Royal LePage I was at was more of a mom and pop shop. It was very small, more of a like family kind of vibe. And I loved it there. And when I went to Remax, great office, by the way, I'm not going to talk down on it at all. It was actually a great experience. I just missed where I was with my mentors and all that. So I went back.
All right.
And but then ultimately I started to just think what's best for my future. And I was actually studying EXP since 2020.
Okay.
And and then seeing a lot of the results people were getting. I was letting people kind of guinea pig it.
Sure.
And I only saw good results. So and here we are.
So you were very happy, very content, loved your brokerage, not really planning on ever really making a move, but you just saw, hey, this is something new in town, and your entrepreneurial mindset saying, well, at least I need to understand it. Would that be a fair assumption? Or
yeah, and in combination with everything I built with my online presence and everything's kind of just fell into place where I had a lot of agents reaching out organically, wanted to be on my team, which I didn't have. So I started to research, building out a traditional team and what that would entail. And it just didn't excite me. So I figured with this EXP model, I can bring in these agents that you're going to get all the support in the world, plus my mentorship. And I don't have to necessarily build out a traditional team. So it's a win-win for everybody. And it just made the most sense for me long term.
Okay. All right. So how long ago has it been that you jumped in with us at EXP?
This March 2023.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to reach out to you and get you plugged into our group, because you're relatively, new, right? I mean, you're not even in the company a year yet. I know you have, I think you said over a dozen, getting close to 2 dozen people in your group, and that's all organically people coming to you, right? I keep seeing your numbers keep jumping. I know you're, selling a lot of houses and your team's growing. It's like, I gotta get to know Matt a little bit and see what he's doing.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm not. People are just reaching out to me, and I always been a proponent of attracting versus, going out there. That's how I get my business. That's how I've built out all my partners and team. I just have a good time, and I do it organic. I do it authentically, and people seem to be attracted to it, and they want to be a part of it. And it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are some of the things that you've done to get your rank 35 under 35 in all of Canada?
So that's a volume. That's a gross commission.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a GCI award. So after hitting a certain amount, based on where everyone else is in the company,
right?
And that was with Royal LePage.
Okay.
I was ranked under the top 35 of the nation.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So what are some of the things that you're doing now to sell more houses, and what's helping you be successful? I know you got a big online presence. Let's kind of share a little bit about that. You have a podcast. I know you said you're in Mexico working with your partners on the podcast. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think brand is huge in this industry, and building a reputable brand that's credible and has awareness is something I started early on. I was told not to waste time on Instagram because I'll never sell a house on there, and it's that actually fuels me more. So now that's all the things I sell are through the platform, and the business I get is either directly or indirectly because of the platform. So it's been a huge staple for my business, with other agents, with clients, bringing in the business, actually helping to sell the product. And especially in a down market like we're in right now, I'm looked at as one of the trusted sources to get your home sold, because I have something that a lot of people don't, and that's the marketing power behind my brand. And my brand is the podcast brand, my personal brand, the team brand, and everything that powers us. Right. The reach we have, the organic reach we have is huge. So versus an agent who's just going to put a sign on the lawn and post on MLS, I have all of this to take advantage of as well, and people are attracted to it.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think you told me you're selling about 40 homes a year as a solo agent, not including anyone on the team. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, 40 properties in Toronto is a big deal. So again, congratulations. And what's your best advice to real estate agents out there that are looking to try to do something similar and really get out there and use social media more to sell more properties? How did you get started? What would be some first steps for the new guy? Would be my first question. And then for an advanced person, what would be some steps for an advanced person to get to the next level?
So for the new guy, get in front of the camera and get comfortable. Get out of your head. So think that, get that fear removed, that what are people going to think of me? That's your biggest battle. And that people will suffer from that indefinitely, and it'll actually cripple them their entire time. So the quicker you can get over that fear, the better. And don't try and do what everyone else is doing. Just do what you want to do. And whether that's like you're super analytic, do your thing, post your stats, post your charts, and explain it because you're passionate about it and you're good at it. If you like some humor, like I do, create some content with some humor. Like the key is to just be you. And people are attracted to that because they can see through the BS of the average agent who's just like forcing it out there. Like, oh, what's the trend? Let me go do this because all these other agents are doing that. Instead, you should try and move beyond that, be different, try and pioneer something on your own. That's where the recognition comes. That's where people start to notice you. And that's where people become attracted to want to use you versus the rest of the pack.
Yeah. You start attracting your tribe, the people that know, like, and trust you because you're kind of like them and they like what you're doing, right?
Yeah. And you filter out people too. Like if, I just put me raw out there as I am. Some people might not resonate with it. So I likely wouldn't want to work with them anyways. Right. So the people that I'm attracting are people that are literally like me. And it's the experience is that much better. It's fun. We're having a blast. The transaction from like start to finish is just a great time, So that just helps with everything.
Right. That's awesome. So for a more advanced person that's, maybe they got a good following, got a pretty good business, but they want to kind of ramp things up, what would you share with those guys?
Consistency, like double down on the content. Don't stop. Find something that works and excel. Like treat Instagram like a business. You can create funnels on there. The more consistent you are, the more in front of people you are, the likelihood of you growing is going to be. So don't care about what you post, really, just post, but then monitor and we'll look at your analytics and see what's worked, what hasn't, and then rinse and repeat with the stuff that's worked. But the landscape is changing so drastically all the time and so quickly. So you have to be on top of things, always trying new things. You can't really get stagnant with like one piece of content because eventually it's just going to get stale and you're going to get left in the dust. So it's very important to treat social media like a business, study it, know what's working, see what's working for people on the top of their game, whether it's real estate or not, and just replicate it.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thanks for sharing that. I think a lot of people, get in their head as far as, they don't know what to post and it's not perfect. So they don't want to look bad or whatever it might be. So they just do nothing at all. And you hear it over and over again is just be yourself and get content out there. And you'll attract the people that are more like you, not people that you wouldn't want to work with anyway. Right.
Yeah. Find what you're good at. It's one thing, like give different examples. There's those agents who do the talking head videos where they just love to explain articles, and that's all they do. And people know them for that, and they just blow up because of that. But that will attract business. I do funny videos, I do skits, I do the podcast, I do a bunch of different things, but I'm known for that. So people who are attracted to that type of information and that type of value resonate and will follow me. There's so many different things, but if you can find like something that really, really works for you, just like 10x that, be consistent with it, and just bombard your social media page with that content. You're not going to get results like this overnight. It won't happen. It's going to take time. So you have to go through that beginning portion of no return, but eventually the returns come.
All right. Do you recommend people start with one platform and kind of master that before moving on to a second, or how did you get started?
You can repurpose quite easily. So if you have the time to just whatever you're posting on Instagram, you can post on TikTok. I know some people will test the waters with posting the video on TikTok first, and then if it hits on there, it'll likely hit on Instagram. There's different ways to go about it. I'm strictly just Instagram. I do use TikTok a little bit here and there. My profile is not big on there though. But for me, I'm all in on the Instagram because that page does extremely well for me. And I just have like my team repurposes all my podcast footage on TikTok. So our podcast page has a decent sized following. I mean, if you don't have the time, hire a VA, start to systemize a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the more you're out there, the better, ideally.
That's awesome. So where do you see your business going in the next, 2 to 3 years, Matt? I mean, you're doing 40 units a year by yourself right now, not including your team that you've just attracted basically because they want to grow up and be like you, right? Top 35 at a rank 35 under 35. Where do you see yourself in a few years, and how are you going to get there?
I'm open-minded. So I definitely know real estate is still going to be my vehicle. I want more of a passive approach. That's why EXP aligns with me so well as well. Like I'm here out in Tulum in Mexico doing a month working remote, and business is still flowing. Stuff is still getting sold back home. So I do really like helping these like the agents that work with me and seeing them grow, and in turn that helps me grow. So I think the long-term game is taking on more of a mentorship role. Really helping those that want to come work with me and starting to leverage my time and get my time back versus being out in the grind every single day. I feel like I want to create more of a passive life for myself, leveraging real estate, leveraging the online brand, and all the doors I can open up with that. So that's kind of the vision I have for myself.
Well, that's being, really taking an entrepreneurial look at it, right? I mean, the average agent, you get into business to sell houses, and you get to a certain point, you can't sell anymore without not sleeping, right? You can only do so much, and then you start building a team, and maybe at some point, start your own independent brokerage, but that comes with a lot of headaches and comes with a lot of overhead and expense and exposure, et cetera. But you can do all that basically within the EXP model. Without having all the expense, overhead, and exposure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What are the top 2 or 3 things that really surprised you about EXP being a cloud-based brokerage compared to the bricks and mortar that you came from? Was there any surprises, things better than you thought? How's that compare?
Well, I mean, with our local group in Toronto, we have offices, so that was attractive to me. I do like being in the office, and the team that we're building is very local, and the training that we do every single Wednesday is awesome. It's in-house, like it's in the office. We have amazing workshops, so I don't feel like I missed that part at all. I think if anything, it's been amplified. The culture is awesome. And then in regards to the online aspect, I mean, it's endless. The support and all the resources you have to tap into. Like a lot of the new agents that come on, they're like, holy crap, there's like so much training. It's like I didn't get much training at my old brokerage, but here there's like a abundance of training. Wherever I look, I can get it. So it's I I think it's foolproof. I think you can get anything you want from it, whatever you're looking for. For me, I enjoy the in-person, the culture, the masterminding, the sharing ideas with like-minded individuals. Some other agents will really value the training and all the online resources you have and all the events. So I think it's really what you're into, but I feel like EXP can give you so many different avenues that you can take based on what you appreciate. So it's not just very linear, which I like.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's dig into that a little bit more, because a lot of people think, EXP is being online, that there isn't any offices or there isn't much collaboration. How can you have much collaboration with an online company? But like you said, you and your partners have an office right there in your marketplace, and I know there are several offices in, obviously thousands around the country. So you guys have meetings and trainings, once a week on Wednesdays, or is it more often than that? Explain a little bit more what you guys do personally in your market, and what other trainings available, over and above that you just said is more than that, what other people even can expect.
Yeah, so we have two offices, two bricks and mortar offices, one in just west of Toronto, one just north of Toronto, and there's obviously talks to expand that as well into the city. But every Wednesday we have our lunch and workshops where we have different speakers come in, coaches. A guy like myself will speak on social media, and we have so many good people in our group that we have so much value to provide. And we also have an in-house like mortgage team as well, who are always every Wednesday giving consistent updates with the markets and stuff like that. So in terms of selling real estate, like we have it down packed in terms of the training and keeping everyone in the know. And that we did every Wednesday with a lunch. So it's just fun to go in there and everyone's vibrating and we're all eating together after, and we're all, talking different opportunities. Like I've developed so many partnerships in actual sales of real estate, whether it's like commercial, residential, pre-construction, just by being at those Wednesday workshops and connecting really heavily with certain individuals, where now we're taking our businesses to the next level together. So it's really cool to see. And we have a lot of support online within our internal groups as well. Like lots of group chats, lots of events. We'll host the nights out together. So it's been a really fun time.
So it sounds like the collaboration is even better than it ever was at the normal bricks and mortar company out there.
Well, the key thing is this: like everyone's incentivized to help each other. It's
Okay,
just how the model works, right?
Yeah, let's unpack that a little bit. How are you incentivized where you are now compared to where you were before?
Yeah, so I always look at things from a broader lens. I think studying history helped me with that because I zoom out a lot. So at the traditional brokerage, I've had a lot of friends that were saying, "Oh, I'm getting my license. I want to come work with you," and then you can't help but think that this person is essentially going to be my competition in my own office, because they're coming in, and unless I start a team and then ask them for 25% to 30% of their business in exchange for offering them leads and other sorts of value, these people have the same network as me. They're essentially going to be competing with me now. That guy across the hall from me, does he want to give me 2 hours of his time for free right now? Where's the value to him if I keep asking him questions? So I feel like the openness for other agents to like kind of reach out and ask for help, or it just creates a weird dynamic versus at EXP. Anyone who comes on the company, like all those friends who come on, I am now having the advantage of rev share with the company who's rewarding me. And therefore I'm incentivized to help those guys indefinitely, whatever they want. I don't have to take anything from them off the top either, which is beautiful. And I think that just goes up the whole ecosystem, and everyone's all incentivized to help each other. Therefore, when we're walking into these offices, there's no like edginess, there's no drama, there's no sort of animosity amongst individuals, because we're literally all winning together. So I think it's created a really, really cool and beautiful ecosystem that's only going to get larger and larger. And I think that's the way to do it. Like everyone's so happy. You walk in, everyone's got all smiles on their face, everyone's excited. It's just different. It's just a different vibe.
I think a lot of it has to do as well as with the ownership, right? I mean, I was at Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens in the past, and those are pretty good, well-known companies, good companies. But I didn't have, no matter, I had all the awards, top listing agent, top producer. I had these really nice plaques that I could put on the wall, but I didn't have any ownership. When I was when I moved from New York to Georgia, I had a big, huge box of plaques. And I was like, what am I going to do with these things? I ended up throwing them out. It's like, I mean, I was happy to get them, made you feel proud that you were top in your office, etc. But I couldn't drop them off at the local bank or cash them in for any monetary, value. How does the ownership piece affect you and the other people in the organization, do you think?
So I think it's just easy it just makes things easier. I think it's just, there's the equality aspect. And, obviously there's different experience levels and things like that, but it just goes up the chain. Like my sponsors are double my time or, 3 times the amount of time I've been in the business. And I just know there's always support and help, and they're always ready to answer phone calls and sit down with me or go for dinners and help me brainstorm mastermind, because everything I build from this point forward helps them as well, So it's just an endless amount of support, and having that ownership aspect is cool. Having the stock is cool. It's like a bonus. It's like I'm selling real estate anyways, and I'm getting shares for it. So there's so many different like bonuses. I think the time in this model over the years is just going to be very rewarding. Whether you're going hard in that avenue to try and partner with as many people as possible, or you're just trying to sell as much real estate as possible, I think organically over time those other pillars are also going to fill up as well, and it's just going to be very beneficial to our end goals.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hey, I just want to take 1 second and thanks a lot of our listeners that are listening today. Hey, David, Connor, good to see you. Rob, Mark, Tracy, Nandeep. If you guys have any questions for Matt, put it in the chat box here in the comments, and we'll ask them. Definitely share this with your, put it out there on your social media so we can get more people to hear about what's Matt's doing in social media and how he's really growing his business. I mean, I'm excited for you, Matt. I mean, being here at the company just a short time, but continue to see your sales coming through, continuing to see more partners coming through. I'm really excited about what your future is going to look like. Like you said, over time, I think it's going to be a game changer for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's funny, actually, when you mentioned plaques, I just completely forgot, but EXP gave me the national, like the award for best listing videos.
Okay.
Year. Like they called me, and I didn't end up going to the EXP Con in Canada because I was literally getting swarmed with listings. And they wouldn't tell me what I was going to win. And then I found out it was for the best listing videos in the company. So that's something I'm leveraging now in my listing presentations.
Right.
And it's been fun. It's been a fun ride. But that's just me being me. Now I'm being rewarded for it. So it's cool to see all of that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Any last minute things, Matt, that you'd like to share with our audience? Real estate wise, personal wise, to help people grow their businesses, and anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I think just latch yourself on to people who are where you want to be in life, and keep your circle small and productive, or big and productive. And naturally you're going to become a byproduct of everyone that you surround yourself with. So whether in the real estate space or not, like I have people in my inner circle in all different industries, and just killing it in their respective industries. What I'm able to take away from them and seeing what's working for them, I apply to real estate, and it's different because it's not the same industry. So,
right.
Even thinking outside the box and getting outside the real estate bubble can help really create different pathways for you and that you can apply to your real estate business. So that's something that's worked extremely well for me, and I'm going to continue to do. And I'd highly recommend that to people out there too.
And what's the name of your podcast? When is it normally aired?
It's called Price to Sell.
Price to Sell.
Price to Sell every Tuesday. It's real estate industry focused. We're switching it up now. We've been doing it for the past 2 years, so you can literally binge all kinds of content on how to really kill it in the real estate business. Now we're expanding it more into a business kind of entrepreneurship podcast. I've traveled for it. I've done it in Miami. I've done it in the Bahamas. I've done it in New York. So it's going to be a continuous growth, and we're excited for all the new things we're going to start implementing. But if you want some really good real estate value and content, it's called Price to Sell.
All right, that's awesome. If anyone wants to reach out to you, talk to you about real estate, talk to you about your podcast, maybe join your EXP team in Toronto, or being here, you're in Tulum, Mexico. We're in 24 different countries, including Mexico, right? So how cool is it that you're able to travel, work, and still be able to continue selling houses when you're in Mexico with obviously you can hear they're working on your hotel or your cabin that you're staying in there.
We're at a villa. They're building a bunch of villas in this neighborhood here. The development's crazy out here. So I'm doing a lot of real estate stuff out here, a lot of networking. But it's cool because I used to have a really, I guess, constricted mindset on I can't leave. I need to be there for clients and things like that. And now I've just kind of opened up my world a little bit on the opportunities of like being remote. And I have the amazing partners back home who are taking care of everything for me. We're still selling homes. We're still getting listings, and everything's being done while I'm here enjoying this weather, because in Toronto, it sucks right now. So in terms of from a mental standpoint, being out here is like beautiful and opening up a lot of opportunities for me mentally. So it's been nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations again on all your success. Definitely, everyone reach out to Matt, reach out to myself. Anything we can help you, answer questions about EXP or helping you grow your business. And I always like to ask at the end of our time, if you could join EXP all over again, would you do anything different?
No, I really like who I've aligned myself with. Not sure if I can get any better than how it currently is. So the people, like I said, it's just that this close group of people who I'm with all the time, and we're just all just flying high together. So I wouldn't.
Okay, that's awesome. And my last question always is, if you're a big reader or a movie watcher, what's the favorite movie or book that you'd like to recommend to our listeners out there?
Can I answer both?
Absolutely.
So book, one that's really resonated with me recently and changed up. Big reason why I'm here right now doing this is Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
Okay.
Big mindset book. I'm a big law of attraction guy, big subconscious guy. So that has been a very powerful book for me in terms of opening up.
Well, I'm going to write that down so I can listen to it. What is it called again?
Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
Becoming Supernatural. Okay.
Yeah. So amazing book if you guys are into that. And then a movie. I mean, lately the Big Short has been a fun one for me, just because of it takes you back to 2008 market crash, and it just shows like the opportunity that existed within that time. And I feel like we're going through a very similar time right now. So to have that shift in your mindset that there's a lot you can take advantage of right now versus living in that fear, I think it's a good movie to watch to maybe amp you up a little bit. That's
awesome. Yeah, mindset is I think 90% of it. People, if you can't, there's a lot of things that you can't you can't control, right? You can't control the noise in the background of them building the nice villas in Tulum, right? But hey, I think a lot of people listening today would rather be in Tulum with a little bit of construction going on than right now than in Toronto in the cold, cool weather. That's for sure. But I think you're right. 90% is mindset. No matter what's going on around you, is especially if you have the collaboration and the support of other like-minded entrepreneurial people around you. Don't you agree that we all pull each other up? I'd rather be the dumbest guy in the room because everyone else is going to pull you up to their next level. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. Definitely. Yeah. There's that saying, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
That's right.
If you're the smartest person in the room, leave the room,
That's right. You got to get in another room or you're never going to expand. If you're not growing, You're dying, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, hey, thanks again, Matt, for joining us on our Financial Freedom Forever podcast. I'll keep looking in my back office for all the sales you're doing and for all the teams that you continue to bring on. You know how to reach me if I can do anything for you. Happy to be in business with you. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you at the next live event, I'm sure.
Yeah, appreciate it, Andrew. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt. Have a good day, all.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Listen to what our business partners are saying about our FFF group.
Being a part of our 3Fs group with my luxury brand, to be able to go out there and know that we have such like-minded, amazing, dedicated, hardworking, and passionate people, that knowledge and that ability to be able to reach out and someone to answer within minutes of me having any questions that I might have has been just unbelievably amazing. And I'm so happy to be a part of this group.
What I love most about the Financial Freedom Forever group is the culture of helping and the amount of resources that are available out there for agents who want to grow their business. You can access 4 or 5 different training sessions per week is awesome.
I believe if you surround yourself with like-minded people that are doing 10, 15, 20 times more than me and you put together, we all bring each other up and bring our businesses to the next level and our lives. To learn more about how to partner with us, go to partnerwithandre.com or click the link below. And let's have a conversation.